I'm Greg Stockdale from the Dino the Dino YouTube channel. Today we'll be doing something a little bit different. Today I will be doing an animated interview. I will be interviewing Christina Sustrich. Christina is the president and owner of New York Clever K9. She's a great friend of mine, and yes, she is a superwoman.
Hey Greg, how are you?
I am good. Thank you, Tina. Welcome. I see you brought a little dog with you today. What's her name?
Ziggy.
Hey Ziggy, how are you? Okay, well Christina, she's going to discuss with us all the methods that she uses as a professional trainer and as a dog behavior specialist. Tina, I noticed that dogs, they love bones, right?
Okay, well this one is really just kind of a little bit of a pressed rawhide stick. So you have to be a little careful with those in terms of dogs' digestion.
Yep, that is so true. Let me ask you another question. What do you recommend as far as exercise, especially in the house goes?
In terms of exercising dogs inside, there are toys that actually do that. So these are called food puzzle toys. So this one is Ziggy. So inside you could put her food and she'll run around all day chasing it. So that's a great thing to do in the summer months. You really want to exercise your dog inside. And when toys can do it for you.
Sure, sometimes we get so busy, we just don't have the time to exercise the dog. So I guess it's a great idea to let the toys work with you.
Well, actually, because it's also a ball, it triggers a dog to chase after it.
Yeah.
So this is another example. This is a pyramid toy, but with this toy, it's kind of like a top. So not only do the dogs chase after it, they have to bat it around and figure out that they have to line up this hole for the treats to come out. Okay. So they can actually get a lot of exercise that way.
And I'm sure it also helps to tire them out.
Right.
A lot of pet owners don't realize that their dogs are actually affected by the weather. I know in the past I've had dogs and they definitely were affected by the weather. What is your take on this?
Well, for instance, if your dog is resisting, then that's important to pay attention to. So dogs are actually more susceptible to heat illnesses than people are. So that means dehydration and overheating. And both of those conditions can lead to death actually rapidly if you don't intervene. And the reason for that is dogs and pets, they do perspire a little through their paws, but they primarily cool themselves by panting. And that's to bring cool air in to cool the body. But when the air temperature outside is not that cool, it's inefficient. So pets are more susceptible to heat-related illnesses than people are. So if your dog is slowing down, then you need to take your dog back home, get in the shade.
And of course, all breeds have different fur. The ones that have longer hair, do you think they suffer more than the ones with the shorter hair in the summertime?
Right. You just brought out a good point. Some do have more than others. So dogs that, for instance, have very light fur, dogs that don't have fur, like Chinese crested dogs, dogs that tend to be white or have a lighter skin pigment.
Hey, and I guess just like people, right, dogs can get sunburned.
So yeah, dogs definitely can. Particular places are on the tip of the nose or the belly because there isn't fur there at all. So there is sunscreen that is FDA compliant for dogs. There's really one, which is called EpiPet. So it's also waterproof. So if your dog is, or if you have an outside dog, or if you're going to the beach, or if your dog is going to spend the day on the deck, it's really important to use that, particularly for dogs that are susceptible to sunburn, meaning the ones with the light fur and the light skin pigmentation.
So Christina, what other advice can you give us in order to protect our dogs from sunburn?
Something that would be important for sunburn also is don't shave your dog completely down.
So what you mean is that your dog shouldn't go to my barber.
That's correct. So really what you want to do is you want to have an inch of fur. So don't completely shave them down. You're going to make them particularly prone to sunburn. Also, dogs can get sunburn on their paws. An important fact. So if you're walking your dog,
I've seen the boots.
do that. There's also paw wax that's used in the winter. But what would be kind of, I think, easier and smarter is, try to avoid asphalt as much as possible. Obviously, in the city, that can be a bit tricky. Particularly manhole covers or metal gratings. People don't realize how hot those get. So it's a combination of, it can seriously burn the dog's paws, but it also contributes to overheating them. So whenever possible, you really want to avoid the asphalt and certainly any kind of metal grating.
Thank you so much, Christina. Thank you for the interview and the great advice. Why don't you tell the audience how they can get in touch with you if they're looking for a dog trainer and a behavioral specialist?
Christina Sustrich, and it's New York Clever K9. So it's NY Clever and the letter K and the number 9.